everybody. Welcome back to the Ageless Anatomy podcast. My name is Darcy. I am a certified laser technician here in Phoenix, Arizona.
And I am Brooke Vanguard. I'm also a certified laser technician and a partner at Ageless Anatomy. So today, we're diving into the Profractional today.
One of our favorites.
Yep, one of our favorites. The Profractional XC is so, it's so versatile. You know, I think when we working on fine lines, deeper wrinkles,
Pores.
Surgical scars, we can utilize that machine on all skin types, which is nice. It's a laser that's tunable, so different depths. We have, some clients that will come in and have multiple treatments, sometimes even every 4 to 6 weeks, at a little bit shallower depth, and just keep that going. And then others will go a little bit deeper dive into with it. But I think some of the success stories we can talk about with Fractional XC as well. I think probably acne scarring and really every target that it does.
Stretch marks.
Yeah, stretch marks. So you have an experience with that.
Mm-hmm. Just so many different things that you can treat.
Yeah. I think you're right. I wasn't even thinking of stretch marks because I don't have any, but I've worked on them.
Right.
You and I both
Right.
have.
Yeah.
It can change lives. You can tell about your story and how you felt.
Yeah. We started doing from my pregnancies on the sides of my legs and on my buttocks, but it made a huge difference just after one treatment. It's pretty amazing what it can do. We've worked on people's abdomens, which is also incredible because it also tightens the skin in that area while treating those stretch marks. So that's probably one of my favorite things to treat with the Profrac.
Yeah. Because you know the experience that you had and how you felt, and it does tighten the skin as well, which is nice. I also had another client that we actually used her as her before and afters are on social media. I originally thought that it would take, it takes 6 to 9 months to see some sort of a result when that new tissue grows in. But when she came in for her second treatment, there was a huge difference. And it does something inside that makes you feel better, even though that area for most of us is hidden, but we look at it every day. Right. So it's for us, right?
For sure.
It's like you can't see yourself in a mirror walking around town every day, but when you feel great in clothing and things like that, it makes a huge difference on your performance at work,
just your self-esteem in general. Yeah.
So, and talking about, we can stay on a little bit of the stretch mark and scar revision with Profractional, but I think working on as many scars and stretch marks as I have, originally I think a lot of people think that because a scar is 20 years old, or I don't know how long you'd had yours when we treated them, but was it about 20?
Probably.
I think
15, 20.
It typically you would think that it makes a huge difference, but because that laser is so tunable, and just with different depths and different settings, and the scar tissue is torn all different ways in there, I think it really doesn't matter how old the scar is to me. I've had amazing results with fresh ones at 3 months, and then...
Right. I think most people with stretch marks, they're old. They're from childbirthing or just from, gaining weight. But most of the time they're pretty old. So.
Yeah. I mean, this last gal that we worked on, I think she was at only a couple years. It wasn't as long.
That's mine.
And then, you know, with Saiton and working on there was a Wounded Warriors project where they used the Profractional for scar tissue and releasing that where we release some of that pain underneath where that scar tissue has built up. So they did studies on that as well. So it's amazing for surgical scars and all sorts of trauma cases. We've worked on dog bites and things like that in our office with personal injury attorneys. So those are kind of the things I think that people don't always think about.
Right.
And then going back to wrinkles and fine lines and acne scarring, more of the cosmetic type of tissue changing.
Just textural issues, anything it can fix, which is nice.
Reverses aging. And with that, I think with that extra heat in there, with the erbium laser and the Profractional, it's when adding coagulation, you get that nice tightening and lift in there. And it's an amazing laser to use. I think, you know, I've in the past to compare CO2 with erbium. When we opened up this business, I decided I don't need the CO2 fractional or the CO2 at all. I feel that with the Profractional, it's more flexible. You don't lose you don't risk losing any sort of pigment when doing those treatments. The Profractional laser you're not losing. It doesn't treat fat. You're not losing fat in the face. Right. And as much as CO2 has its place, in my opinion, I feel that, you know, being in Arizona and also, I mean, your kids have mixed race, right? And there's people that have fair skin, but they have a darker ethnic skin tone background in there. And so it can be really tricky with that, either hyperpigmentation or losing, if they have that darker skin tone, losing that pigment. And I think we're living in a world now where everybody's mixed. We all have a lot mixed up, you know, ethnicity wise. And I just felt, in my opinion, that the erbium is a safer laser, and we can get it to mimic exactly with the coagulation. We can get it to mimic what CO2 does.
With a lot less downtime too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which
absolutely.
Is great. Yeah.
That's a good point you bring up.
CO2, you can be down for months.
Oh yeah.
Months. With Profrac, you're usually down 7 to 10 days, maybe, and not as bad as the CO2.
Right.
So CO2 can be pretty gnarly.
Yeah. And I felt, you know, in comparing, I know we're talking about the Profractional today, but in comparing that, because I've used both, it's the full field as well as the fractionalized CO2. I feel that it is, when you're resurfacing that with the CO2, you get that, sometimes that pink that stays around for up to a year after in your skin, even if you're not walking where it's sunny. And obviously we live in Arizona, you know, you have to be careful. Even just with that heat, it feels so sensitive for so long. And with the Profractional, you don't get that.
Right.
I love it. I mean, personally, I've used the Profractional on clients since 2008, and Saiton, the makers of the Profractional XC, I think that they've, with their equipment, were able to when they have new software, they download it into the machine, and so it's upgraded, and they've done so many studies with it. It's just, in my opinion, one of the best for resurfacing. And
I mean, you can just do so many things with one handpiece. So
yeah, it's pretty amazing. And speaking of that, we speak on scarring and stretch marks on the body. There's, I think, a lot of even laser techs forget that the Profractional is amazing for tightening on the arms, skin tightening, and body. They've, there are studies where, I mean, it's been used a lot, and I've done it a few times, well, more than a handful of times, on the intimate areas as well. And it's a nice rejuvenation treatment. And I think a lot of laser techs that are even using the Cyton forget about those areas. We work on the face and the neck and bypass the hands.
I was going to say, what's done on the face can be done anywhere on the body.
Right.
I don't think a lot of people know that. So,
well, and I think that's what we've been blessed with the Profractional, because it is tunable. So you can adjust the settings, whereas when I use the CO2, it has its place, it's great, but using the CO2, it's just sometimes those body parts, I don't feel like you can effectively do it on full body parts like that. Yeah. It just kind of obliterates everything.
Which is not what you want.
And there's the settings and the high-low, whereas we can tune that Profractional to where it's dialed to where exactly you want it to go, and you can get it to go just so shallow and almost like a
and you can also
3-day downtime. Yeah, drill to the bone with it too. Yeah. So it's pretty amazing. And speaking of downtime, with you've seen, we do a lot of those treatments. So as far as downtime goes, it can be anywhere from, considered 3 to 14 days.
Right. Body heals slower, so the body's going to take longer.
Yeah.
But the face, depending on the depth that you go, it could be 4 days, it could be 7. So, and when we say downtime, it's not like you're leaving looking, crazy. You may have some pinpoint bleeding and stuff like that, but it's not as crazy as what you'll see with like a CO2.
Yeah.
So.
And comfort-wise, when I worked with the CO2, we actually had an anesthesiologist that would come in and just put him under twilight.
Twilight, yeah.
But it's, I think people like to be able to come in on their own. I'm not saying that there aren't settings that Profractional, we do need to do that. But with most people's lifestyles being so active these days, I feel that using the numbing cream and the Zimmer cooler, it's comfortable.
I agree.
And it definitely isn't a massage, but it's not. I've never had anyone that couldn't make it through it.
Right.
And so it is.
And I think the actual procedure itself is very tolerable for people. It's the after effects that you just feel some heat for about an hour afterwards. And then after that, you just feel like you have a sunburn for a couple days. It's really not bad.
Yeah. I think even a curling iron burns worse. Feels
sure.
worse for days.
For sure.
This goes away. This is nothing compared to a curling iron burn.
So true.
Or just regular clothing iron burn when you
any
tap
kind of
your
burn
arm.
like that, yeah. No, this is not like that.
It's not even close to that.
Right, yeah.
So if you can make it through bumping your arm on an iron, you can make it through a
Absolutely. Totally. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, so, and healing-wise, we can use the same settings on you and I, and we all know that I swell a lot more than you do. So it's hard to really gauge.
Do you have much swelling with the Profrac?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't swell much with the Profrac, like you would do with the Halo or something, but
yeah.
See,
that's where I wish I could look into a crystal ball for people, because they try to figure it out, and we just say, just lay low for 72 hours because
Right.
that's a natural wound cascade, right? So where
Yeah.
you're going to swell, you'll look great by the end of the day, and then you go to sleep, and if you're laying too flat, you'll wake up with puffy eyes, and then it
Right.
goes down again. So first 72 hours is in that natural wound cascade
Which is
window.
normal.
Yeah.
Totally normal. And we like swelling.
Yeah, it's a necessary evil, right?
Correct. Yeah.
But it's, I think it's, I'm turning left again here, like I always say to Keegan. Swelling's a necessary evil, but if you look at the grand scheme of things, we hear clients that say, "Oh no, I'm just gonna get a facelift, and I'm just gonna save up for a facelift," which is completely different.
Right.
Typically, surgeons, and we have a surgeon that will be coming in and joining us as well. It's different. The people who, and you've seen it, you have a lot of clients who are starting to get lifts. That is where you cut skin and pull it up, right? And the tissue, pull the tissue. With laser, surgeons love it when they have amazing, healthy tissue that is youthful, because when they do facelifts, it's completely different. Their facelifts look so much more natural and beautiful because there's that plump new tissue in there. And Profractional is, it's great to just keep growing that natural tissue back. And
Right.
I think a lot of people going back to scar revision again, talking about natural tissue. When we even work on acne scarring, I think a lot of people from back in the day when we worked on scarring like that, it was so barbaric. It was smoothing it from the top, right? So then people looked real waxy with those old methods.
Waxy's a good word for that.
Yeah. And laser just is not that way. And that's one of the reasons why, even with the fractionalized, it puts that heat deep in the tissue, so it signals that tissue to start, the cells to start growing new tissue, and it grows up from underneath. So it looks natural and it smooths out from underneath. Whereas, decades ago, they were just belt sanding it down practically, and it's just
Right.
horrible. And I think a lot of people that are, I'm 57 now, even people that are my age still remember their grandmothers that had a line of demarcation where their face looked really waxy.
Yeah.
So that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. You get that demarcation, and that
Yeah.
part of your face looks hypo compared to the other. It
Yeah.
just doesn't grow that, doesn't have that pigment anymore,
Yeah.
and waxy looking, like you said.
So laser has, if people don't know, laser over the last 3 decades has, it changes,
Right.
but it really is. We're working towards making your skin healthier and that tissue bouncy and bringing the elasticity and collagen back.
Right.
We talk about downtime and all of that too, and people that have a really busy lifestyle. And sometimes I think, well, I know that clients feel more is better, just go deeper, and then I don't know. I feel that if you have a series of them, and even if you did them a shallower depth back to back, I've seen you really still get to the same clinical endpoint as
Right.
obliterating everything.
For sure.
And so those people that have those active lifestyles that just don't have the downtime for
Just
that,
takes them a little bit longer to get to it. Yeah.
and it's nice. It stays up on it. I know you and I talked about we're the worst when it comes to working on ourselves because we leave ourselves out working on other people.
Yeah.
And every single time we have a treatment done and look at our faces, we're like, oh yeah, we're doing this every month
Right.
now. and then we fall
And
off
then
the
we
wagon
fall off.
again.
Yeah.
But it's,
Yeah.
it's, Profractional is amazing. We need to do one on each other today.
Let's do it. I'm game. For us, we have to just literally book it, or else if it doesn't get done.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
What about like pore size and like deep lines?
So when we're talking about pore size and deep lines, you know, and even blackheads, you know, people think that the pores and blackheads, you just keep using those sticky things and ripping it out, but then it unplugs it, but it doesn't regenerate the tissue underneath to where it's growing, it's nice and smooth.
Yeah.
And pores and blackheads come from just the way that our body naturally produces oil. So it's really us. It's nothing that we're doing, or we're not washing our face or extracting or something. So Profractional is great in that way, to where it's renewing that tissue. So your cells don't remember how old they are or what they were doing before. It's like when you cut yourself, your body naturally just knows how to heal itself. And the same when we do a these controlled columns of heat, the Profractional, that's what it's doing. It's changing that tissue underneath. So, and the same as with the fine lines and...
Yeah, it just helps minimize all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the analogy that we always use, you know, it's is the old mattress that bags or sways in the middle and bags on top, and we're just growing that new tissue back, and when we have that new healthy tissue underneath, everything is just so beautiful on the outside.
Smooths it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, another great analogy is, you know, we're just feeding our body what it wants, and it's kind of the same way with food, you know. You feed your body what it wants, and when you're working out, and it likes it, so it's healthy. A lot of clients will ask, oh, well, how long will this last? Well, every morning that we wake up, we're given another day. I mean, we're constantly aging. We're exposed to elements.
Right.
You know, talking about acne scarring. Acne scarring will start pulling in and getting deeper. So I would recommend that when you see it on your kids or teenagers starting to come up, we need to take control of it, whether it's acne first and treating. And we do have one youngster that we're treating now, but it is important, and it's like working out. You need to stay on top of it.
And laser's never one and done. Like she said, you're constantly chasing that aging process, so it's something that you have to keep up with it, whether it's every 6 months or a year, but it's something that you constantly have to do to help with your collagen production, because you start losing that in your 20s. So
you don't own a tomato plant and not just water it once, right? I mean,
yeah. So
you know, it's like taking good care.
Okay, so if Profractional is something that you're interested in, you can always call our office or message us through Instagram or on our website. We do provide complimentary consultations in our office, so if that is something that you're interested in, we'd love to see you guys. Thank you for listening to our podcast today. Have a good day, everybody.
Have a good day.